Alright, looks like we're live. Welcome, gang. Oh, almost forgot our music. Alright, we'll be getting started in a couple of minutes. So if you're here early, go ahead and fill in that giveaway link, bzpower.com/giveaway, and you'll be entered for our stream today. Set it and forget it. And yeah, soon we'll get to crack open this beautiful looking set. Alright, looks like it is 1 o'clock, so time to get our build started. Welcome again, folks. This is Black 6 from BZPower here to build this lovely architecture, Lego architecture set, the Statue of Liberty from New York, USA. 1,685 parts, retails for $130. It's one of the pricier architecture sets, but like a lot of those sets, you know, it's a good price per part ratio. That is also because, as with a lot of those architecture sets, there's a lot of smaller parts, which obviously cost you know, less to add in there. And not a lot of printed parts here. I believe the only printed part is going to be that tile along the base. But you can see, like, for example, here, this is just 1x1 plates and 1x1 rounds on all 4 corners, so things like that are going to add up and maybe like inflate the part count a little bit. You can see the box a little dinged up in transit. Did get this from Lego for free, so can't complain too much about that, although they are still very nice boxes, resealable, as we'll see in a minute. You can see the set front and center there, not much on the side. The back shows the build next to a picture of the actual Statue of Liberty. I was just in New York City last weekend for Toy Fair and can confirm that is approximately what the Statue of Liberty looks like. I didn't quite get that close, but I've seen it before. That's about what it looks like. We can see the set is going to be 17.5 inches tall, so that is no small model, and 5.5 inches wide at the base. And on the side, you can kind of see like a architectural drawing version of the set. Interesting to see all of like those tile lines kind of exposed there that kind of flow together. Let's see on the top, you can see that we're using actually a hairpiece for the golden torch, so that's kind of cool. And not much else to see, so let's open it up. So this is a kind of interesting, oddly shaped box, right? It's different from most of the architecture sets as far as its form factor, different from most Lego sets in general. I must imagine that retailers hate stocking this because it is a pain in the butt. So we actually have a little quote inside the box though. I'm not sure how well you'll be able to read that, but it says, "Living in New York City, I am reminded by the Statue of Liberty that the United States of America has always welcomed those yearning to breathe free and seek a better life." That is from Charles B. Rangel. So that is very lovely words to hear. I think it's a good sentiment to have. All right, let's see what we got in here. So we got our instruction book, nicely bound. We've got this. I was not expecting to see any of these in here. I'm curious to see how those get worked into the structure. Got a bunch of numbered bags. Looks like 5 is our max. Yeah, so 2 for each number. So 10 total bags, 5 numbers. Let's open them up. You can see that 1 through 3 is a lot of predominantly tan parts for the base, and it's not until the last 2 bags that we're actually going to be working on Lady Liberty. Oh, get back over here. I always like seeing the colors that get used for the internal structure. Here we have a lot of blue headlight bricks. Not sure what we'll need them all for, but I'm sure it'll be cool. Oh, we got our brick separator. There we go. Doing a good job filling up our cup. All right, so the architecture instruction books are usually pretty nice because they got a lot of extra information here. So a little bit of background on the Statue of Liberty, dedicated in 1886. A quote from Henry Van Dyke. And then we get it again in French, I think. Do you not get it in Spanish? Oh no, okay, never mind. I just looked at the first word and it was, I guess, the French sculptor, so I assumed the whole thing was in French. Shows me. All right, so a little bit about why it was a gift from France, from dream to reality. Well, that's a pretty recent picture in there, because we got the Freedom Tower. Universal icon. Facts and figures. The actual statue is 151 feet tall. And then now we get it in French and presumably Spanish, since this is the US version. And all right, on to the instructions. So you can see 1 through 3 works on the base. Oh, and it looks like at least one of these is actually going to be used to connect the base to the statue. That's kind of curious that it's I guess tall enough that they didn't want to just do stacking bricks. They wanted to add some infrastructure in there to make it a little sturdier. If you've been watching Lego Masters, you know, sometimes adding that Technic infrastructure isn't always a good thing. There it is. So yes, our one printed piece in this set, 1x8 tile Statue of Liberty. Pretty much every architecture set, I think, gets a printed tile. It's kind of the one standard you can expect. And so since we're starting with the base here, it's definitely important to make sure that you're pressing down on all these plates, because you want a nice sturdy and flat base. And a strong foundation to build on. like the strong foundation of America, or something like that. I'm certainly not going to get political in this this stream, so you're welcome to take what you want. And believe what you want. First thing I'm noticing right away is that it's kind of interesting that the base is kind of hollow in the center. There's nothing in there, which I guess makes sense. It takes fewer pieces that way. Well, I was going to assume at least the base was going to be solid, unless it's going to be something along the lines of needing to have the hollowness to attach something over there. Moving on from the black to some dark tan. Not a lot of dark tan in the base. Looks like there's just going to be kind of like a layer around the edge here. Now we're moving on to the light tan, or brick yellow, as the LEGO internal term for it is. I'm sure I've mentioned this in the past on the streams, but I actually used a brick yellow piece, brought it into Home Depot, and had them color match it on my wall over here. Let's see, there we go. Get the angle right so you can see there. So, yes, I do have brick yellow walls in my LEGO room. So I do have a feeling, and I'm already starting to see this, that this set is going to have quite a bit of repetition in a lot of the designs. Like this step, I've got 16 of these masonry bricks and 12 1x1 brick yellow bricks as well. So it's going to be like a lot of, hey, do the same thing over and over again. And you can see that in the base very clearly, but at least once we get up to the statue, things should be a bit more unique and interesting, so I've got that to look forward to. Alright, so we're starting to get some little Technic stuff going on in here. So you can see we got this Technic beam with a 3-module Technic pin in the middle. So that might be another reason why that bottom is empty, so we're going to be able to like stick stuff up through later and access that to connect things. Problem I'm definitely already noticing here is when you have a set like this, and in this case is primarily 2 colors, it can be a little tricky to find the right brick. It's like, alright, find the tan headlight brick in the bin full of tan bricks. See, this is why when you're sorting your own collection, you sort by part type and not by color. I mean, people can tell you differently. Those people would be wrong. Architectural flourishes on the base here before we start building up to the next layer. It's sad every time I pick a part up that is not tan, because it means it's one less non-tan part to stand out in the trays. Another collection of masonry bricks. So just added a little lip here, or a little inner edge. I'm just going to give some support for the next layer, which is some 45 slopes. So we got 20 of the 2x2 normal 45 slopes. So I'm just going to grab as many as I can find, assume it's probably all of them. And then some corner slopes for the corners. These 45s are also helping to lock in those masonry bricks, which are just stacked on top of each other, not overlapping, so they're not the sturdiest connection. But now these, we are going to be beautiful. All right, and now I get to do the same thing 4 times apparently. At least they tell me in advance. So there haven't really been many new pieces to call out so far. We do have the fairly recent 1x1 little pyramid. Not sure if you call it a plate or a tile or slope maybe, but that is in brick yellow. Not sure if that's the first time we've seen it in this color or not. Alright, let's build us some sub-assemblies. So in these little assemblies, we're putting these headlight bricks with the stud facing inside. So I'm guessing that means we're actually going to be building with the anti-studs on the outside. So that should be kind of interesting. Looks like I got another slightly interesting technique coming up as well. So it very clearly shows us putting these 1x1 plates in the center hole in this 2x2 plate at a 45-degree angle. Kind of an interesting choice there. Not sure why right now, if there is a why. So now we're taking this and putting it on here. Oh, that's interesting. So these 5 studs are going to be going into the 5 circles here. So this whole thing is kind of goes from a 3x3 to a 4x4. And I can't see why we would really put that at a 45-degree angle other than maybe to make it easier to take it apart when you're done. We'll have to see, maybe something else will come into play where the spacing on that is important. But I mean, if it is just to make it easier to take apart, I am certainly all for that. Alright, almost done with these little assemblies. So there we are. And then, according to our instructions, just pop right on there. Where they will presumably be covered up. Oh, another do this 4 times. So we got a lot of these boat bottom pieces, 2x2 round tiles or something. Looks like 24 of them to go around the sides of the statue. Alright, so yeah, they're coming along from the outside. Kind of got that nice rounded look. Get them some stability with some of these tiles here. Alright, and so yeah, it looks like we're going to be attaching these to those anti-studs on the headlight bricks here. And so just gonna... Okay, or that could happen. Let me go find out where all those pieces fell, except for the one that hit my head on the way down. I suppose the good news is the parts I've found so far have landed just fine. Except that one doesn't want to seem to attach again. What is going on there? Something get out of alignment. There we go. Alright, where's our last couple parts? Alright, I may have to go on mute for a minute or two and go on a little scavenger hunt. So, yeah. I will be right back, folks. Alright. Found our missing parts. Let's see if we can do this again. Not have the whole thing explode. Hold it steady on the ground there while I put these on this time. Oh, and look, another thing I get to do 4 times. Although that looks like that's probably gonna wrap up our first set of bags. That's one of these little pyramid pieces. Yeah, so it looks like we're trying to continue this pyramid and slope pattern around the whole base here. Alright, yep, so just made 4 of those little guys. Hopefully no explosions now. Let me put these in place. And so yeah, interestingly, they're just going to be kind of resting on this edge here and only attaching on the sides. Alright, and that is it for our first set of bags. We're going to keep on going right into bag 2. Well, I guess we'll take a look at our base so far. Certainly coming along very solid and sturdy, although hollow. Curious to see when we make use of those Technic bits to go up the middle here and how that comes into play. But it looks like bag 2, just kind of keep building up. Lots of red and blue and white, very patriotic. I'm sure that had no part in the design process or color choice process. Just a happy coincidence. Some dark gray in here too, some light gray, and a little bit of black. But right away we're starting off with another do this 4 times. And take some of the bigger pieces out there. Hey there, Brickus. Welcome. See, these little assemblies we're making are very flimsy right now. Hoping something we do in the next couple steps strengthens them up a good bit. So yeah, you can see you've got a bunch of snot bricks on here, a couple plates sticking out the back, but even still, it's still pretty flimsy. But we're about to put some tiles across these, so that should hold it together pretty well. Hopefully help with that falling apartness. So we're putting these 1x2 tiles on with only one, connected to only one stud. So you have to watch out that, you know, you get it in the proper position, because they do tend to wiggle and slide a bit if you're not careful. Alright, now we're just going to stacking them on. Alright, and what is becoming a fast pattern, it's another do this thing 4 times. So a lot of 1x1 round plates in this section. Looks like a total of 48 in 2 different colors. You have to do this 12 times. I guess they put that one red one in there just to keep you awake, I guess. those done, I gotta stack them up. So that gives us this. Now we need to make another column. More 1x1 rounds. And then some 1x1 plates as well. Alright, stacking we will go. And so we stack those so they kind of alternate with the ones we did before. Makes it for a cool pattern, just you know, takes some monotony to get there. Fill in the corners. Having the red parts make it nice and easy to make sure you don't mess up which direction they go in. Ah. So this is interesting. We're putting these 2x2 jumpers on top of the 2x2 jumpers, but in a way now that the stud here is going to line up with these studs. As you can see before, that would have been offset, so now we're using the jumper to re-offset it. Now using the fact that there's only 3 studs exposed in each of these sections, with the 3 holes in the bottom of the tile, so that pops perfectly on there. And that will create a nice clean edge all the way around for whatever the next layer of building is. But it looks like first we're going to do some interior structure. Some more brightly colored bricks here. Adding on these 1x2 plates with like the little track piece on it, and I'm curious to see what that ends up coming into play as far as like spacing or support or something like that. Because these now are going in here. Certainly make for an interesting look in the middle. Alright, now we're going to start building on these 1x2 by 1 2/3 snot bricks here. We're going to, again, make 4 of a thing and then kind of build and start building out. So we just made these little constructions. They're going to be columns like this. But we put that snot brick on there, so we do still have a stud facing up, I guess, for future upward building. And so these are going to go directly under that little yellow edge piece. So we did 1 of these, and now we get to make 4 sections that each have 3 of these. So we get to make another 12 of them. But now, this time, we get to do it on top of these. And it looks like it's going to be pretty close to finishing up the bag. And so after we finish bag 2 here, we'll do our first giveaway for today. We still got a little bit of time for that. If you have not entered yet, you can head over to bzpower.com/giveaway. Fill in a quick little form and be entered to win some fabulous prizes. Maybe not like super fabulous, but free, so you can't go wrong with that. Since it does look like we're getting dangerously close to the end here as far as our parts go for bag 2. In a sec, I will go ahead and put up that giveaway link again. There you go, so you should be able to see that on the stream now. So go ahead and get your name in our virtual hat. So a few minutes. You can see who our first lucky winner will be. There's a lot of 1x2 grill plates here. All right, so just built 4 of these, each with 3 pillars, so 12 pillars. And then these will pop right on there. I'm gonna do that like this so it doesn't explode on me again though. And just kind of continue that around. It's interesting, a lot of the geometry on this is like an odd number of studs. So like even this here is 7, the white is 7 by 7, and these are 7, or I guess, yeah, 7 studs wide and things like that. All right, the last few bricks here. All right, so here we are after 2 numbers of bags. Again, very solid base. You know, maybe some of the parts we just added on, a little unsturdy, but yeah, you can still kind of see through there. Still have to see what how this little Technic connection goes. It does look like in bag 3 we will be making use of that, but before we get there, let's go see who our first winner is going to be today. Only if it wants to work. Something has exploded here. Try one more time. That seems kind of odd. Alright, may have to pick our winners after the fact. Let's dig in real quick, see what's going on. Alright, let's try rebooting. By that I mean closing and reopening. One more time, and it is still not working. Alright, so we'll try again later, but may not be able to do our giveaways live on stream this week, unfortunately, due to technical difficulties. I haven't changed anything in the code for that in like years. So I'm not sure what suddenly changed that is not working. Ooh, look at this, guys, a bag of just 1x1 round plates. How exciting. And hey there, Aaron, good to see you. And look at all these little bits and bobs. Lots and lots of 10. You know, we have, when our giveaway works, one of the questions is what theme do you want to see us build in the future? And the reason we're building the Statue of Liberty today is because a lot of people have said they wanted to see us build more architecture. But man, all this repetition is making me remember why architecture is not one of my favorite themes to build. It'll look cool in the end for sure. Yes, Aaron, we know you're the main voice behind Technic. Although the Land Rover is not quite in the top of the poll just yet. Also, I don't know if I could have built the Land Rover right after building like the RC tow truck. That would have been a lot of Technic. How are these supposed to go? That. Need a little break from giant Technic, in between giant Technic builds. Good news is, for those of you who did enter the giveaway, that is currently not working. That we'll soon be getting some new sets added on to the forum there. Hopefully. We've asked to see if LEGO can send us some new sets, and assuming that all goes through, once they show up, we'll have some new models to build. Don't ask me what those sets are, because process takes a little bit of time, and I've already mostly forgotten what we requested. Although I do think the new Batmobile was on the list. I remember. I think there is at least one more architecture set too. Alright, so now we get to make more of these columns that were very annoying to build, but they're even taller this time. Yeah, so we have 60 of the 1x1 round plates, and so many of these L plates as well. I'm just going to assume it's all of the L plates until such time as I run out of rounds to put on them. Red rounds into one section here. All right. Well, it looks like I'm not actually using all of the L plates right now. I got 4 extras here. But I am going to be using a lot of these rounds. Alright, so we're just going to take all you, dump you in here. I forget what other sets are still on the pool for us to build. Maybe we have do we have the Droid Developer Kit thingy on there too? Do anything to not assemble these right now. I'd save the sets left on the list before we get some new life from our next LEGO delivery. The T-Rex one is the one I'm most interested in, which we were close to building this weekend, but have not been feeling the best. Had a bit of a stomach bug, so I figured go with a shorter build. Plus we weren't going to finish the T-Rex in one sitting anyway. Droid Commander, I'm definitely interested in seeing how that interacts with the boost. The London bus I like. Look forward to kind of displaying it with some other big creator expert vehicles at some point. But I don't know, the Land Rover, I'm sure it'll be fun and interesting because it's Technic, but can't be nearly as interesting as the remote control tow truck, right? Because it's like doesn't have any of the cool functions the tow truck's got. Oops. All right, we're making some progress on the pillars. I'm just gonna fill in that one. So lots of 1x1 plates here. Alright, apparently all the 1x1 plates. Looks like we're going to be pretty close to using up all the rounds as well. It's really odd that we're within like 2 steps of bag 3. We've almost cleaned out 2 trays of parts, and the other 2 are almost completely full. Alright, finish these puppies off. Let's be done with them. These are not on here very sturdy, as they're on 1 stud, and it's an offset stud. So we definitely need to do some work to lock this all in place. And that looks like that is what the next step is all about, is building a frame to go around here. So let's get these bigger plates out of here. That sits on here. Get the alignment correct. Make sure that doesn't push down. Alrighty, looking good. It's interesting to note that we've got these jumpers here which add an offset again. We're actually going to start using those here. Kind of push out. I think that's going to be like perfect for like those. Yep. Alright, so yeah, now everything's going to be really locked together. Very solid. Still have a nice hole down the center though. So, still got to see what comes out of that. How that gets used. It's kind of weird to be just building on flat studs again. All the snot techniques and everything that we're putting on there before. Feel like if you enjoy building castles, that this would be a fun set for you. Just like looking at the architecture here, you can definitely take a lot of the elements and bring them into like a medieval castle or something like that. Certainly could be a good parts pack for it if you don't mind building your castle in tan as opposed to gray. Certainly nothing says that castles have to be built out of gray. So that is a cool little technique. I didn't realize quite what we were doing there. So let's show that off. So here, you can see we're using that 1x1 rounded plate with a little bar on it. Very handy part in a lot of situations. We're kind of embedding that here like so. And in our next step, we're gonna make use of that bar there in what to me seems like a pretty interesting way. So we've got these 1x2 plates with a clip on them. So that 1x2 plate with a couple of cheese slopes, clips on top of there, and becomes a little archway over the door at the top of the base, top of the tower of the Statue of Liberty. Alright, just about done with bag 3 here. I'm going to put the giveaway link up again, just in case anyone has not had a chance to enter yet. We'll try to pick a winner again, see if things have fixed themselves. If they have not, we will just pick our winners this evening after the stream is done. I'll figure out what's going on and we'll fix that up. Alright, so now, taking our 3 Technic thingies, technical term there, attaching them like so, and then we put that down there. We get to attach it to the base here. and the other. So, I mean, technically, yeah, we can just kind of hold that and spin it around like so. Good strong Technic connection. I guess this is going to go a good bit into the base of the statue on the top. And will help support her as well. Alright, so that is 3 bags, or 3 numbers out of 5 for the Statue of Liberty. Makes for a good Christmas ornament right now. Can hang it from your tree and hopefully it won't bring the whole tree over. Alright, let's open up our bag number 4. Lots and lots of beautiful sand green, a little bit of tan, and some other colors. Well, looks like this is going to be a lot of internal structure of the statue, hence all of the variety of colors. So you can see you've got a lot of non-sand green to go with the sand green. All right, but before that, put away our giveaway link and try one more time to see if we can get this to work. And no luck. Try one more thing here. Still nothing. All right. All right, guys. Not sure what's going on with that, but like I said, we'll make sure that the winners get picked. It just won't happen live. Okay. Alright, and now, finally getting started on some asymmetry, it looks like, on the base. So we've got a clip there. Not sure what that'll be for. Guess we'll have to wait and see. We got another one going in. I suppose it's possibly like to attach her feet or something, so they can be not actually connected to the body. Now we're starting to add some snot bricks here. Give us a good structure to build outwards on, I guess. We've also got some sand green snot bricks. So we've got the 1x1 snot bricks, both the ones with just one stud and the corner ones. Which I'm not sure if that's a new color or not for this set, but in any event, it's always nice to have those parts in different colors, so good to see it here. So it looks like what we're doing now is we're going to be stacking lots of little sand green snot bricks and plates, and sometimes some not sand green snot bricks and plates on top of each other to build like a core here, so they can put all of those tiles and curve slopes on top of it. I guess one of the reasons that a lot of the stuff we're doing is sand green, even though it's on the inside, is that there will still be little gaps and stuff that are going to peek through that they want to make sure look good. Although as I say that, I've got some different colors coming in. There's quite a few tan corner snot bricks as well. Getting close to burying this Technic connector here. And well, I see we've got these guys in here. I don't see any Technic axles yet. So that may be in the last bag that we really lock things into place. Oh, no, there is an axle hiding somewhere, apparently. I just can't find it. Oh, there we go. Alright, so yeah, using a couple of these 1x1 bricks, Technic axle hole. And that's gonna really lock this all into place. I can shake all I want, and all these like little 1x1 bricks and plates that we just assembled are not going anywhere. Alright, so I've got this far. You can see all the studs on pretty much every side. I do like how they've got some color coding. It'll make it easier to tell the different sides apart later on. But now we're doing a thing 5 times. So we're making 5 layers to stack on top of here. Alright, so these are very multi-colored. They have a lot of these tan corner snot bricks. So I save them till the end. Just fill in everything here. Alright, so there we go, our multicolored snotty constructions. We had 5 of these, and now we get to stack them on here. I think we're going to be outside the view of our camera pretty soon. Certainly one of the taller sets I've built, especially considering the width. One thing if this was the Death Star and it was this tall. It's just a statue. One thing that's becoming quite clear is that it will not be able to be stored in the box. You can't even see that. Let's see, we can tilt that up a little bit. There we go. So yes, we are already at about the height of the box. I think, based on looking at the picture in the box, this is going to be her neck right here. So you still have the head and the arm. That will be even taller. So I feel like now that we've got all of the kind of snot elements here for the core, we're actually starting to do some of the details. All that sand green you see here is going to be visible in the final build. think what we're building now is going to be part of her head. There we go. It's almost like she's got some eyes staring out at us. Alright, so we're starting to add some details now to, I guess, what will be her back. So some of her dress flowing down here. I'm liking how even these bits we're building now are going to have some studs on them for snot. So we're putting this like that, but now we're adding on to the number of studs that can be connected to on this side, which will further lock everything together in the final build. Lots of sand green 1x2 cheese slopes going in here. Didn't quite realize that because it's from, you're looking at it from the front, you see all the curved slopes. Cheese slopes aren't quite as apparent. They're hidden away on the back side. this looks like it's going to be about it for bag number 4. So we'll be moving into the end of our build pretty soon. Looks like after this little assembly, we've got like one more thing to do. But with that, looks like her back is just about finished. You do have a couple things here that we'll have to fill in, but the back is looking pretty good. Now the side is nice and ready to go. Okay, and I feel like I must have skipped something because I have a bunch of leftover parts that are not attached anywhere. I guess they could be extras. There is one of each, so maybe those are just extras. I was not expecting to get like extra of those for these though. Let's see, I did that. Alright, yeah, I guess those are all extras. That is quite odd. Alright, let's finish her up. Lots and lots of sand green to close it out. It's going to be real nice and totally not confusing sorting through all of this sand green. Looks like I found out what one of those pieces was for. Supposed to be a tile right there. Somehow missed that one. And this goes in there. So it looks like we are currently building Miss Liberty's right leg here. You can see that's her foot, and there's her dress billowing up a little bit. So I'm pretty sure getting this hinge piece, both parts in sand green, is going to be pretty new, exclusive for this set. So it's kind of awesome to see. And so that is for like the bottom of her foot here. So we got that opening there. And that attaches like that. So this is not actually attached to anything over here. It's literally just those two studs there. So it's probably one of the more fragile parts of the build so far. I'm noticing the alignment on this instruction book is a little off on the cutting. You can see if I flip through the numbers, but the numbers are kind of jumping all over the place in the corners. It's like the pages weren't cut straight, they kind of like jumped around a bit. It's I mean, again, this was a free set, so I'm gonna call up customer service and complain. But if I paid $130 for a set and then got like a instruction manual where in this case it's fine, it's workable, but if like parts of the instructions were cut off the page or something, that would be pretty annoying. Kind of would expect, from what I've seen in the past, like Lego has always had great quality in the instruction manuals. I mean, sometimes they get like folded in the boxes, but the manuals themselves are usually good, so it's kind of odd to see this. So her right side slowly coming together here. So now I've built this little assembly here. Now you can see it has this kind of lip over here. And so now when we attach this, like so, it's going to cover over the knee area and make that all blend together nice and smoothly. I've still got this little patch to fill out, it looks like. Really isn't a lot of these 1x2 curve slopes with the corners cut off, and lots of different uses, and along with the normal 1x2 curve slopes. So it really kind of makes like a nice taper as we go down there. Alright, so looks like we're done now pretty much with the back and the right side until we get to the arm. So now we're turning it over to the front. Stay on grill tiles. So since we're putting these grill tiles in that have holes all the way through, this is important. One of the reasons it's important, we had a lot of sand green on this inner core structure, at least down at the base here, so that that white or yellow or whatever color doesn't shine through the grill tiles. I don't think I ever realized quite how well these corner 1x2 tile or curve stoves went together. It's like this one, it kind of leaves half of that stud visible. So I put another one on top. Kind of, they line up and completely cover it, but kind of add like a nice little relief on there that gives it some interesting texture. Alright, here goes a good chunk of the front, add it on. It's like a good half of it right there. this last bag is certainly shaping up to probably be like the longest in terms of time spent, just because of all the little details in here. Hey there, Yadno. Welcome. Oh, Dylan, welcome. Sporting a new name over here on Twitch, I see. Glad you could join us. Alright, so I've made this whole assembly. You can see you got some snot on the side there. And so this is gonna make us pretty close to having the front of Lady Liberty all done there. Obviously, you still need to do her head, but as far as her torso goes, it looks like we're pretty much done. So it looks like we're gonna get to start moving on to her left side, which is going to have the interesting rub of having the book that she has to hold, or the tablet. You're definitely commenting earlier on the cost of this set, Dylan. So I mean, technically from a price per part ratio, $130 for 1,600 plus parts isn't bad. But you know, a lot of those parts are smaller ones. But it is a lot of good sand green and tan. So there's definitely are good aspects to it. Whether or not that's helps justify spending $130 on it, I mean, that I can't say. Slowly building up her side over here. Are starting to run low on some of the parts, especially these 1x2 corner slopes in both colors. So I can only imagine that these are getting close to wrapping up. Piece not going all the way. So there's the alignment on that's a little off. Go. Much better. Did I happen to see the new Transformers Generations Quintessence and Scorponok? No, I did not see those. Usually, unless it says masterpiece in front of it, I don't pay too close attention. Although if I saw something like Scorponok, it'd be, you know, my Beast Wars brain. I'd usually jump at it, but I must have missed that. I have seen the new Beast Wars Masterpiece Tagatron. Pumped for that. I do keep trying to think about, though, like, they need to do more Predacons in general. Like, which Predacons would be worth? Oh, G1 Scorponok. Boo. You know, which Predacons would be worth doing in Masterpiece? Because, let's face it, they kind of had a high turnover rate. On the Predacon side. Yeah, that's the other thing, is that, like, masterpieces of those would be really neat, but man, I can't imagine for some of those transformations, like you said, for Pterosaur or Scorponok, those would be some very intricate transformations, especially based on how Black Arachnia turned out. Like, they're gonna need to really bring their A game to those guys, but like, I don't know, a lot of the Predacons only last for like a season or maybe two, if you like look at the timeline of how long the characters are around. And so it's like, does it make it worth it then to make a masterpiece of a character that was only there for a little bit? It certainly helps explain why they've been predominantly focused on the Maximals. Alright, just built this big assembly here. It's got another hinge on it. There we go. Looking quite solid. See, I think we definitely need Tarantulas for the Predacons. But we just got Black Arachnia, so I'd obviously expect for them to wait a little bit before we got Tarantulas. And what's his name? Inferno? Is that the name of the ant? The ant I think we would definitely need. Then there's like still Maximals that we really need that we haven't gotten yet either. Like, where is our Rat Trap and Rhinox? Like, I need me a Masterpiece Rat Trap and Rhinox. Especially since the Rat Trap one would be fairly affordable. Yeah, Waspinator though, I feel like that would be another one where that transformation would be so difficult. I have no idea how they would do that and make it look good. Like I just transformed my Black Arachnia again yesterday. Try to do it, you know, every couple of weeks or so. I try to go through them because I spent all this money on these toys. I am gonna play with them. So, and it's like that transformation is like, and by that I mean her beast mode does not look as amazing as some of the others. We'll just leave it like that. Meanwhile though, Lady Liberty has her torch. I love using that hair piece in gold as the torch there. And this is supposed to, so it actually goes on this tile here, and the cheese slope keeps it at a certain angle, and I assume we're going to lock this in place with another tile. And it can wiggle a little bit, but that's pretty sturdy. I think as sturdy as you're going to get. What are we saying about Generations? Let's see. I've heard good things about Generations Rat Trap, but I missed him because I wasn't into buying all the Transformers at the time. So I'd have to go and look for him used. And I know as soon as I were to go and buy him used, then they would come out with a Masterpiece version. Alright, so here is her arm. It's on this hinge over here. And so now that goes on there. Oh, got a tile out of place here. Alright. Gotta tilt our camera up so you can see it. There we go, that's better. Alright, we're in the home stretch. It looks like we're gonna work on her face now and her crown. And after that, it'll just be the book. I'm surprised that we are doing the book before the head, or doing the head before the book. And if you like unicorn horns, we get a bunch of those in sand green in this set, along with these little clips with the 318 bars. Alright, so there we go. Parts of the crown assembled. And so you can see we left that bar open. And so way back when, I think this was in bag 4, we put this clip here, so you can clip that on. And then her face uses a Nexonite shield in sand green. Another nice color choice there. I think that lines up there. And then I can fold that down. Alright, I think we're on to the book. You never need an excuse to go and open the Lego set they're doing. And they are unicorn horn pieces for the crown, I believe. These were their first used. They've probably been used as drills as well. Alright. So there's the book here. Goes onto this hinge. We hinge that up a little bit. And then take a slope here to help lock that in place. And the last bit is a couple of pairs of sand green handcuffs, which go on the base here. Not sure what those are supposed to represent exactly, but that is all she wrote. What a lovely picture there. A little bit of information about Lego architecture, some other sets, and the inventory. All right. Okay, so the Statue of Liberty, I guess since it's such a tall set, we'll start by looking at the statue itself, since we just finished that up. Definitely like how that came together. It was definitely a good, strong finish compared to the base, which was very repetitive. Although the base looks great, I definitely enjoyed the variety that the statue itself had. We used lots of cheese slopes and curved slopes of different types, lots of snot techniques, and it wasn't just all pure snot, right? So like we have the leg on here, which is on a hinge plate and kind of locked in place. So yeah, it can wiggle a little bit, but that can't really move to go too much out of place. And the arm has some interesting techniques, especially to hold the torch, and the book as well. I did, when the set was first revealed, there was definitely some criticism on the face here, using the Nexonite shield. There have been fans who have made their own Statue of Liberty mocks that have done a great job of trying to capture the face, but I think it gets the job done, keeps things nice and kind of Lego-y, right? I mean, there's definitely a lot of detail in this set, but if this was like printed or something, that would just look kind of creepy, I think. So that is the statue. Can move our camera down a little bit to look at the base. And so we don't really need to spin the base around that much because it is identical on every side. So we'll do a quick spin there. So you can see that I'm not lying. So as you can imagine, the base tended to be very repetitive because it was do everything 4 times, one for each side. And in some cases, like these columns and stuff, it was do 12 or 16 times. These guys here, very annoying. But overall, it looks great. Like I was saying, as you're building it, you know, if you're a castle builder, it could be a good part pack or a good build to give you some ideas for how to build your castle. As far as sturdiness goes, can pick her up by the statue, shake her around, not coming apart easily, and that is in large part because there's actually some technique here from all the way to the base that goes all the way up into, I think, about like this level on the torso or so, and that holds us all together, so this is not going anywhere. I'm sure if I really twisted this, I can feel it kind of twisting a little bit as I do that, but in general, you know, you can pick it up and move it and display it wherever you want to. So yeah, that is the Statue of Liberty. Unfortunately, as we saw earlier, I was having some issues doing the giveaways, so I have to figure out what's going on with that, and then we will go and retroactively pick our winners. So keep your eyes peeled on your email, and so once we've gotten this technical issue straightened out, you will see that if you're a lucky winner. So thanks again, guys. I think we should definitely be able to do some sort of stream next week. Not sure on the timing just yet. But we'll see what the results of the voting was today and tally those up along with what we've gotten in the past and see what you guys would like to see us build next. So thanks so much for watching. As always, thanks for chatting. Hope you had a good time, and we'll see you next week. Thanks everyone. Take care.